Hey everyone, this is Jeff Grace from Swimming Specific Yoga. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified on all the great content we're putting out there on a regular basis. Sign up for our newsletter below to become part of the Swimming Specific Yoga community, and also visit our website, swimmingspecificyoga.com. This next video is for you breaststrokers. We're going to go through a sequence that is really connecting to these aspects: hip mobility, hip stability, some ankle mobility, and body awareness. So all things that are extremely important for you breaststrokers to develop. What I'm gonna do is go through this sequence in the first half of the video in great detail, so you can really learn the fundamental and the alignment of each pose. If you feel comfortable enough with the poses, you can go to the second half of this video where I'm gonna flow through the sequence a little bit more quickly with not as much description of the poses, really kind of not as much specific teaching, but flowing through the movements a little bit more quickly. We're gonna start in our strong standing posture of mountain pose towards the front of the mat. Have the feet hip distance apart, pointed straight forward. Feel into the four corners of the feet. Big toe mound, little toe mound, inner and outer side of the heel. Place the hands on either side of the hips, and then just rock your pelvis back and forth a couple of times. Notice the range of motion in both directions, and then find a middle ground between the two. That's going to be the neutral position for your pelvis. As you do that, reach a tailbone down towards the ground, slightly engage the core, collarbones wide, shoulders relaxed, and have the neck long. Bring the ears right over the shoulders. Bring one hand on your abdomen, one hand on your chest. And we're just going to connect to the breath with three-part breaths. As long as it's comfortable for you to breathing through the nose. On every inhale, feel your abdomen expand, your ribs widen, your chest rise. On every exhale, allow the chest to fall, the ribs to narrow, and the abdomen to relax. Doing that 2 more times, gradually building your depth and length of breath. And as you do that, bring your awareness into the body and move that awareness from either head to toe or toe to head. It's going through a body scan, noticing how the body feels now, and we're going to return to that to really understand how the body responds to this sequence. Place a hand on either side of the pelvis. Make sure you've got that neutral position in the hips. On the exhale, we're going to press our seat back towards a chair. Now, we're not going to come to our fullest depth quite yet. You want to make sure the feet and the knees are pointed straight forward. You can see the toes in front of your knees. Okay, so we want to have that control and stability as we do this chair. Make sure that the hips are in a neutral position. Once again, feel like the tailbone's reaching down towards the ground, and you're reaching through the crown of the head. So lengthening the spine, but keeping the natural curves in the spine. Then collarbones are wide, core is strong, neck is long. Then lean forward a little, sink back a little bit more. Feel like the weight's coming back into the heels. Okay, you want to have engagement in the glutes here rather than feeling it all in the quads. As you bring that weight back, your toes might lift. That's perfect. You're bringing your pose into the right alignment. But if you feel that, press strongly into the toes so you have that base of the support with the feet. Bring the arms out in front of you, palms facing down, fingertips pointed away. Maybe sink back just a little bit more. Then, on your inhale, bring your hands to your hips, rise back up to your mountain. You're going to do that one more time. Hips in a neutral position. Exhale, sink back to your chair. Just check that alignment, especially with the knees and feet. Bring the arms out in front, fingertips pointed away. Feel the weight come back towards your heels, the engagement through the glutes. And on your inhale, rise back up to your mountain. Now we're going to move into a little bit of balance that leads from that stability that we had in our chair. On your exhale, you're going to sink back to your chair. Okay, then feeling into the four corners of your right foot strong. So that's where we want our stability here. Pick a spot to look at that's not moving. And then rise back up to about 1/4 of your depth of chair. Bring your left ankle onto your right thigh, playing with your balance. Curl the left toes towards the shin gently. Allow your left hip to externally rotate, so we're creating the mobility in the left hip and the strength and stability in the right. See if you can sink back in your chair just a little bit more. Awesome. On the next inhale, just bringing the left foot off, placing it down, coming back to your fullest extent of chair. So we're keeping that stability and strength. Inhale, rise up to about a quarter of a chair. Bring your right ankle onto left thigh. Externally rotate the hip, curl the toes. See if you can sink back a little more as you create this stability in the left hip, the openness in the right, and notice how the sides differ. On the inhale, bring the right foot down. Lengthen back up towards your mountain pose. We're going to add on to that. On your exhale, sink back down to your chair. Okay, feel that strength and stability in the right. Rise up to about a quarter of a chair. Inhale, bring your left ankle on to your right thigh. Maybe sink down a little bit more, creating that opening. And then inhale, lengthen the leg a little bit more. Bring the ankle off, foot is still up, and then start to hinge at the hips. So you're coming towards like a halfway lift. Lengthen your left leg out back behind you. Try to keep the hips even. So hips pointed down. Curl the toes, point them down towards the ground. And then slowly step back into a lunge. Once you come into your lunge, make sure you're stable. The hips are squared. So feel like you're driving your front heel back towards the back of the mat. Dragging your back toes towards the front of the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. Shift your back foot to a 90-degree angle. So the outside of your foot and the short side of your mat are parallel. Then turn the right foot to meet that same angle as the left. Keep your hands on the hips. Feel that neutral position. And you're just going to exhale, press back to what would be like a wide-legged chair. Bring your hands in front of your sternum, palms together, and then exhale, press over to the right side. So really bending into the right knee, pressing the seat back like your chair, staying strong into the four corners of the left foot, and feeling some length, a stretch coming through the inner thigh. Now stay deep. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, coming over to the left side, same way as we did the right. Now keep the upper body long and strong here, feeling that stretch into the inside of the right leg. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the other side. Do that one more time. Inhale, back to center, exhale, coming back over to the other side. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen those legs up, turn your right foot to point towards the front of the mat. Turn onto the ball of the back foot. Lower the hands down. Drop the back knee down. Now, if you want to bring padding under the back knee, feel free to. You might have a cushion or a foam block you can use, or you can fold up the mat. Now, right knee directly over ankle, foot and knee pointed straight forward. We're going to come into the hip flexors here. Walk the back knee back enough, you start to feel length through those hip flexors. Place the top of the foot down. Now feel like you're driving that front heel back towards the back of the mat so the hips square. Come up onto fingertips, raise the chest, and then slowly come up onto your front thigh. Gently press down, gently press forward. Make sure the upper body is long and strong again. And then we're just going to pulse a couple of times here. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. And one more time. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. Hold. Keep your right hand where it is. Inhale, lengthen your left arm up. Reach up towards the sky. Really reach through that left side. Exhale, come over to the right side. So feel that stretch through the hip flexors on the left. Maybe coming through the abdomen on the left side, really coming into the biggest hip flexor of them all, the psoas. 2 more breaths here. See if you can allow any tension you feel through the hip flexors to release. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold forward. And then, keeping your back knee where it is, or maybe backing up a bit actually, you're going to bring your seat right over the back knee. On the inhale, you'll lengthen your front leg. So we're going to come into the hamstrings. Heel down, toes curled. Make sure they're pointed up towards the sky. Bend your knee enough that your hands can reach the ground and forward. Don't worry about how straight that leg comes. Start to feel the sensation in the hamstrings, the back of the thigh. Walk your hands back towards your hips a little bit more. Press your chest forward, lengthen your spine. You should feel a difference in that sensation in the hamstrings. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Every inhale, really feel that expansion through your 3-part breath. Every exhale, just letting go. Allow areas of tension to soften. On the next exhale, shift forward to that low lunge. Inhale, bring the back knee up. Exhale, bring your back foot to meet your front to a forward fold. Hands on shins. Inhale, bring your upper body halfway up. So you find length in your spine. You come to a 90-degree angle at your hips with your torso. Reach through the crown of the head, through the tailbone. Exhale, fold. With that same length and same connection to the core, inhale, rise all the way up to standing, arms up. Palms together. Exhale, bring the hands down through center. Find your strong standing posture of mountain pose again. I invite you to return right back to what we did before. One hand on abdomen, one hand on chest, so you're feeling that connection to breath. Move through a body scan. We just did some opening on one side, strengthening on the other. So notice how the left side feels different than the right. Okay, we're going to go through this sequence a little bit more quickly. Make sure you're flowing with your breath, moving with your inhale, leading your movement. So we're going to go through this sequence for breaststrokers a little bit more quickly. Make sure that you're following your breath as you go through this. So inhale before you start a movement, exhale before you start a movement, and keep that connection to breath. Starting in our strong standing posture of mountain pose, feet hip distance apart, pointed straight forward, feel into the 4 corners of the feet. Hips neutral, core slightly engaged, collarbones wide, shoulders relaxed, neck long. Place one hand on abdomen, one hand on chest. And just moving through our 3-part breath 3 times to connect with the breath. Inhaling, feeling the abdomen expand, ribs wide and chest rise. Feeling that opposite wave-like pattern in reverse on your exhale. And just doing that 2 more times. And as you do that, moving through your body scan, so your awareness moves from head to toe or toe to head. Notice how you feel now, so that when we end, we can return back to that foundation to understand how our bodies responded. Bring your hands to your hips. Just make sure the hips are in a neutral position. Exhale, sink back to your chair. Extend the arms out in front of you. Make sure you can see your toes in front of the knees and toes pointed straight forward. Have the weight coming back towards the heels so you feel that engagement in the glutes. 1 more breath here. Inhale, rise back up, hands on hips. Exhale, sink back to your chair. Okay, find that strength and stability here. Remember, we're going to use as we come into our balances. Inhale, come back to your mountain. Exhale, sink back to a chair. And then rise to about 1/4 of your chair. Inhale, bring your left ankle onto your right thigh. Feel into the 4 corners of that right foot. Make sure you stay engaged in the glutes so you create that stability on the right side. Externally rotate in the left, opening up in that hip. Then exhale, lower the foot, sink back down to your chair. Inhale, rise back up to 1/4 of a chair, strong into the 4 corners of the left foot. Inhale, right ankle, left thigh. Sink back. Strengthen the left hip, open up through the right. Inhale, lengthening back up, bringing the foot down, dropping back down to your chair and adding on. Inhale, rising back up, left ankle, right thigh. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, starting to rise up a little higher. Bring the ankle off, knee in front. Hinge at the hips. Keep that pelvis as even as possible. Toes pointed down towards the ground as you extend that left leg back. And then slowly come to a lunge. Strong into your lunge. Inhale, bring the arms up, square those hips. Exhale, hands to hips. Shift your back foot to a 90-degree angle. Then bring the right foot to meet the same direction as the left. So toes pointed to the wide side of the mat. Sink down towards like a wide-legged chair. Bring the palms in front of your chest. Keep that upper body strong and upright. Exhale, sink over to the right. Open up through the inner part of the left thigh. Stay low. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, come over to the left, stretching through the inside of the right thigh. Keep all four corners of the foot down. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop back. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop over to the left. Inhale back to center. Rise back up. Turn the right foot to point the front of the mat. Turn onto the ball of the left. Hands down either side of the right. Drop the left knee down. Walk that knee back enough. You feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Top of the foot down. Square the hips. Inhale, rise up onto the front thigh. Exhale, press down and forward. And then inhale, come back. Just pulsing a couple of times. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, coming forward. Keep the right hand where it is. Inhale, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Reach those fingertips up, and then exhale, come over to the right. Feel that stretch through the hip flexors and through the left side. One more breath here. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold forward. Make sure your seat and knee are in one line. As you inhale, lengthen your right leg long. Heel down, toes curled. Make sure your knee is bent enough. The hands are down and forward. Then walk the hands back towards the hips, finding that sensation in the hamstrings. Lengthen the spine. Work with your range. See if you can allow the hamstrings to relax. One more breath here. Exhale, coming forward to our low lunge. Inhale, back knee comes up. Exhale, back foot meets front, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms up. Exhale, hands down through center. Find that strong standing posture of mountain pose. Taking 3 of our 3-part breaths here. So connecting back to your breath. And just noticing, as we've done different poses on each side, how the sides feel different. Okay, really building that body awareness as we do this sequence. One more breath. All right, hands on hips. Sink back down towards your chair. Okay, find that strength and stability. Strong into the left foot. Inhale, start to lengthen up towards a quarter of a chair. Bring that right ankle onto left thigh. Sink back towards that standing figure 4. And then keep that strength in the left hip. Inhale, lengthen the leg a little more. Bring the ankle off, knee forward, and start to hinge at the hips. Coming towards like a halfway lift. Noticing the differences in the sides. For me, this side is definitely a little weaker. And step back slowly to your lunge. Find that stability in your lunge, squaring those hips. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down. Turn that right foot to a 90-degree angle. Make the left foot meet the angle. Hands in front of the sternum. Exhale, sink back towards a wide-legged chair. Inhale, and then on your exhale, sink over to the right, stretching through the left. Inhale, staying low. Exhale, coming over to the left. Inhale, staying low. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, staying low. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center, hands on hips, rise back up. Turn the left foot forward, come on to the ball of the right foot. Sink those hands down either side of the front foot. Drop your back knee. Move the back knee back enough that you feel a stretch in the hip flexors. Top of the foot down. Square your hips. Slowly come up onto your front thigh. Gently press down and forward. Doing a little pulsing action here. As you do this, notice how the hip flexors on the right feel different than they did on the left. Next time you're forward, come to stillness. Left hand stays where it is. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Lengthen up, lengthen up, lengthen up. Exhale, come over to the left. Feel that stretch through the hip flexors on the right side, maybe coming through the abdomen. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Keep that back hip in line with the knee as you start to lengthen your left leg long. Heel down, toes curled. Bend the knee enough, hands are on the ground and reaching forward. Find that sensation in the hamstrings on the left. Walk your hands back towards your hips, press your chest forward, lengthen your spine. Notice the differences between the right and the left side. Exhale, Come forward to that low lunge. Inhale, back knee comes up. Exhale, back foot meets front, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms up. Exhale, hands come down through center. Find your strong standing posture of mountain pose. Returning back to that three-part breath, connecting back to breath. Noticing how the breath and the heart rate are connected. And then notice how your body feels different, how things have changed, how your body's responded to the sequence we've just done. I want to thank you for watching this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. I really hope that you love all of the content putting out there. Please let me know if you have any feedback in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified of the great new content we're putting out there. Got a link to our newsletter in the description below, and don't forget to visit our website, swimmingspecificyoga.com.